Thanks for coming today. It's a nice sunny day outside till about 15 minutes ago, but it was really a pretty day out there. And for those who haven't seen our new magazine, there's copies of it on the back table back there. So help yourself to a free copy. Do we have new artists around here? Are you new? Yeah, you. Okay, you want to say something about yourself? Come here. Come here. Yeah, come on. No, that way you can be on the recording because this is going through the.
Well, that's nice. Well,
No.
okay. Hi, I'm Nikki De Leon. I don't know, moved here. My family's from here in a couple of generations. They live in Tulare. I'm born and raised in Germany. So after 37 years, this is the first time I'm here now. Oh, I recognize you. And yeah, I work in sculpture and painting. I have a background in architecture. I used to do interior design, but more furniture building. And yes, now I'm here. Thank you for having me in this really nice community. I met a couple of people already, and I enjoyed every conversation I had so far.
Welcome. Okay. Anybody else that's new here? Oh, come on up. You can just stand. Okay, we're gonna rotate the camera here.
Hi everyone. My name's Tyler Holback. I'm from Ohio. I moved to Visalia about 10 years ago. I went to school for printmaking in Marietta, Ohio at Marietta College. And currently I work for Stan Bitters in Fresno, helping him make murals. And I'm his pot maker right now, I guess. If you're familiar with his work, he makes thumb pots, and I've been making those for the past 2 years. And I tried to sign back up as a member of the consortium, but my PayPal thing got denied. So I'm kind of freeloading here. I can make the $25 donation. But yeah, but yeah, thanks for having me. It's nice to be here. This is a lovely space.
Thank you. Well,
There's the legendary Fresno artist, ceramic artist. He did the whole Duncan ceramics. If you know Duncan ceramics, he did those gigantic wall murals that are like legendary. I mean, they're monumental. It's incredible. That's a tremendous position to be in. To Stan Bitters. Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. So anybody else? We're good? All right. So Sandra, we're gonna move ahead with the program, and Sandra's gonna start us off. Here you go.
Hi, everyone. Welcome. If you don't know me, I'm the administrative assistant here at the Arts Consortium. Just on my agenda, my section, just giving you guys an update on the South Valley Art Tour. It's coming up end of March, 28th and 29th. And just want to let you guys know that the passports are open for pre-order. They are on pre-order through Eventbrite. There is Eventbrite fees for that, which ends up being $7 with change, and you can pre-order here at the Arts Consortium at the $5 price, and we do add the tax. So if you buy it here at the Arts Consortium, it's around $5 with change. So I'm able to take pre-orders today if you want, so you can see me after the meeting. And then the last day to pre-order is February 11th. We do recommend that you buy your passport during the pre-order, just because we are going to have a very limited amount here at the Arts Consortium after we receive them. So it's best if you order them through the pre-order. The benefits of having the passport is there's a new thing that we have included in this year's, which is coupons. we gave the artists an option to put a coupon in the pass support. So we have quite a few artists who took up the offer. So please, we ask that you go support and see what they have available. We do provide the pass support on our website for free. That's why this event remains free for the community. But it is only available the day before and during the event. And then some coupons will be available for both the online one and the physical, but some artists have opted only to provide their coupon in the pass support. The stamp rally returns, where we host an opportunity drawing, where if you visit all the stops, you get put into one opportunity drawing. And if you visit at least half the stops, you get put into another opportunity drawing and both include prizes and a grand prize. And we haven't decided on the prizes yet, so keep a lookout for those. Just update, there's going to be 27 artists this year with 18 stops. Some of them collaborate on one stop. And artists from Exeter, Visalia, Porterville, Three Rivers, and Tulare. And then so just keep a lookout for artist previews, which should be coming soon. And hopefully next community meeting, we can share more on who the artists are. But keep a lookout, follow us on Instagram and Facebook and our website for updates. And then that's it for me. So if you want the passport after the community meeting, see me. And then, so I'll pass it over to Ampelio next.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Arts Consortium meeting. My name is Ampelio Mejia. I am the executive director, and I'm very excited to see so many new faces. It's really, really awesome. We are talking right now about the Watermark magazine that you may already have in front of you. Our Artist of the Year, Michael Hasso, who is on the cover. Yeah, give it up. Really, really excited. It's a pretty good summary of the things we've been up to in the last few years, all the activities, all the artist opportunities, and it includes artist opportunities inside it. If you haven't looked through it already, and if you aren't aware, we do have an art contest in the magazine that revolves around just emailing us a PDF picture of your favorite piece since July of 2025. So if you send us that, we'll collect them. We have a jury of different people every single year, and the winner receives a $500 prize. And we don't actually even keep the piece of art. We actually let you keep it and enjoy it, and we just celebrate your work. So look out for that in the magazine. And in the future, if you're a company or if you represent an organization and you would like to be featured in the Watermark magazine, just let us know. We'll make sure that happens. Are there any questions about Watermark? Chase, yes.
Is it 25 or 26, the year that it's due?
For 25, because it goes back the full year since we're splitting them. Yeah. Otherwise, we wouldn't get any art. So we just had 26. Yeah. So very excited about that. We want to do a big shout out to our graphic designer, Jason Clausen, who absolutely murders these every year in the best way possible. We feel like, yeah, we are unfortunately fairly behind schedule, but we hope that the quality that Jason puts together for you all kind of makes up for that, because I really do think these are absolutely gorgeous. So thank you for that. Without any further questions, we'll go ahead and start talking about the Visalia West Main Park Sculpture Call to Artists. It's another really big opportunity for individuals or teams to put together proposals that would include, you know, a scale rendering of the piece that you want to do, a materials list, a timeline, a budget, all these things that would go into the planning of a public art piece. If you're just thinking about it right now and you want to go over things later, you can stop by, visit, we'll chat about it or whatever, but don't miss out on an opportunity to submit a proposal like this. Even if you don't get accepted, the experience to apply for something like this in your own backyard, I think is pretty cool. So please consider it and please come out.
Do you want to tell them how much?
Do you all have you all seen a copy of this call to artists? Has anybody not seen it? It's a $50,000 call to artists. We have them out here. We'll pass them out in just a second. But yeah, you can, the idea is that it's going on the West Main extension where Mill Creek runs into West Main Park. So it'll be facing sort of northwest. It'll be nice and shady. The county is sort of looking for garden themes or local flora and fauna. But just because the theme and the idea is something that's sort of usual to us, it doesn't mean that your representation has to be a typical representation of flora or fauna. So you can get pretty abstract with it if you want, as long as you know the subject matter is recognizable for the purpose of the theme. And then the big thing is that, or the big thing that may not be clear enough in the call, is that the artists are responsible for the foundation or base, whatever you want to call it, but the thing that goes in the ground to hold the piece up. The size is really not, it has not been determined. They're calling for, there's a general space in the call to artists. There's really no, they're open. So this is the first of what they're trying to make into a sculpture garden. So this will be the first big piece that they put into this park. And then eventually they will add little or smaller or maybe also equally big pieces to it. But the idea is that that space on most of the county property sees a lot of traffic from runners, from walkers, from people on break. And so they really want to focus on this space and turn it into something like a sculpture garden. So great question. This is the first of hopefully a lot. The General Services Agency and the Arts Consortium have been partners for a long, long time now. We have been working at different kinds of public art, and this turnover in administration at the General Services Agency also came with a whole bunch of different ideas about how we can accomplish these tasks. They put out a whole list of options for the Board of Supervisors, a list of options of public art and locations. And the Board of Supervisors voted on a rank-based system on what ideas sounded appealing to them. And this was one of them, the sculpture garden. There's also a permit center art going up, but I think they're going to handle that internally. And then I forget, there's another. Oh, the storybook pathway. Yeah. So yeah, the county has for some time had $50,000 to beautify the county every year. And so we've slowly been working on the infrastructure to take advantage of that every year. We're building up a lot of momentum in a lot of different ways, I guess. So yeah. Are there any other questions about the West Main sculpture? Yes. That mostly has to do with the Board of Supervisors availability. They have to kind of plan months ahead of time so that everybody can be on the same schedule. And they realized that pushing it out that late would mean that they wouldn't be able to meet with them until way later. So they pulled it. Yeah. 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 It's a learning process, right? This is also part of what we're trying to communicate with them is that, you know, the longer we can give artists to work on proposals, the better proposals we're going to get. And so, you know, ideally, this will be a really good learning opportunity. Yeah. It's a combination of Board of Supervisors themselves and then department representatives there. So it's basically the people that are in charge of that space. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, as the Arts Consortium, you know, we bring people to water and then we watch them drink. Sometimes. Thank you all very, very much. Are there any other questions? These are wonderful, wonderful questions. Okay, Right on. Well, then please, it's my honor to introduce for our second year in a row, local ceramicist, local artist, local community builder, and producer of this wonderful show that we are sitting amongst, Antonio Cuellar.
Hey, do you mind if I pull up a seat and sit down a little bit? Okay, I'm gonna just relax. It's been a full day. It's been a full day. First off, I gotta say, thank you to the Carey family for providing this beautiful space. This is a great gallery, beautiful gallery, wonderful place to show. So that's a tremendous gift to the community that was provided here. And also got to say thank you to the Arts Consortium and Pelio and Sandra for the diversity of which they uphold, from the Watermark Gallery to this, to the Tasty Arts, to the South Valley Tour. Everything that they're contributing is tremendous. It's tremendous. There's a lot of effort, and that's absolutely grateful for that. Mike as well, tremendous, and so, yeah, thank you for hosting. Yeah, thanks for hosting. And I guess tonight what I was kind of wanting to talk about was the kind of the parallels between ceramics and tattoo art, and the whole idea from even the foundation of these biblical concepts of man being created from the earth, and the vessel, and us talking about those kind of topics with regards to the actual production of the work. I also want to talk about the diversity that we included this time, and the approach, and how wonderfully developed these tattoo artists are with their craft to be able to just switch mediums. Some of these people for the first time are touching, and you can tell, individually, this medium. And it's not an easy thing to work with. What you're painting with here are essentially just clay. It's finely ground clay with pigments, raw pigments. And that's what they're painting with. So it wants to dry very rapidly. It's not like, it's like similar to watercolor in that it dries immediately on this very porous material that you're putting it on, but you have to layer it and layer it. And, oftentimes with these reds or these kind of saturated colors, you're talking about going over it 5 times, which is a tedious task for such fine line work, which is a parallel to, the tattoo world, because they are in the zone for sometimes 12 hours. They'll be working 12 hours nonstop, quick little breaks because they're dealing with somebody who's in pain. So they have to go in and spend this laborious effort of tremendous concentration to accomplish the task. So they are honed for this kind of artwork, in my opinion. So the parallel between that, I mean, they were perfect fits, and the similarity of porcelain to the skin. Porcelain in particular is just very soft and buttery, and it's like a very almost kind of, jello-like material. And so when you touch it, and if I were to spend time and really treat the porcelain with rubs and different kind of sponges, I can make it feel just like skin. And it's incredible. So that for them to be able to just transfer into this medium so proficiently, it's just, I got to give it up to everybody. I really got. I mean, it's Tony Bernard's piece over here. It's incredible how he accomplished that Medusa, and Jeff Pickens' piece over here with the moth. It's just it's delicious. You look at it, it's like you can almost eat it. And then we have, these very saturated colors, Jason Cardoza, just beautiful pigments and very rich, developed, imagery. And, very, very much leaning towards the nature of tattoo art. These are pretty pretty ingrained in their styles, which, Michaela Madison, just over here, if you look at her tattoo art and you look at her approach to ceramics, it's like she's translating it with a different medium. It's spectacular. Michaela Gutierrez, I mean, obviously incredible oil painter, like just, unparalleled in many levels, unparalleled on many levels, approaches the ceramic medium for the first time and just knocks it out of the park with the layers that she developed her flower work. I'm so proud of them and how they just can like hunker down and zone in and accomplish the task, because they are tremendous at that. So I got to give it up to all the artists for what they've done with this year's show. One thing is that I really want to focus on was the concept of apprenticeships and mentorships. And that's also something that parallels between the ceramic world and the tattoo art world. To be honest with you, the ceramic world is slowly dwindling. I was trained in an apprenticeship. I initially moved to Santa Cruz, California, and started at a production pottery called the Santa Cruz Pottery. It was a 40-year established pottery, Bauhaus style pottery. And I was apprenticed there from age 18 until for about 7 years I was working there. And it kind of like in between, like probably about 3 years into Santa Cruz Pottery, I then began to get mentored by a gentleman named Paul Soldner, who we will then be seeing, a short film of his. He was inducted into the Aspen Hall of Fame. He moved to Aspen in the late 50s after World War II, and developed this whole artist colony there called Anderson Ranch. It's like one of the most premier art facilities in the world, clearly in the middle of Aspen. What else would you expect? But, I spent a lot of time, 10 years assisting him, and a lot of time in Aspen, 7 summers. But what I want to talk about is like the apprenticeship program, because he was very much in that era of apprenticeships within the ceramics program. That's the way a lot of art was taught. Leonardo da Vinci was taught an apprenticeship. This was before they were, it became a commodity, right? And so now that they could, that they're able to commodify these movements, then these points of education, then you're talking about a different world. Apprenticeships no longer, they're dwindling art forms or dwindling kind of ways to participate or gain education. So needless to say, the tattoo art world is literally one of the only that I know of that really adheres to the apprenticeship. I mean, eventually, who knows where that's going to go, because now we're going to start talking about tattoo art schools and in colleges and all these things that go against the tradition. But that's inevitably been the flux between all mediums, right? It was like eventually Da Vinci was no longer trained. There's no more apprenticeships. Everything's taught in colleges, and different kind of institutions. I feel like there should be more diversity within the pool of development, because once we homogenize these areas, then we're going to get a consistent outcome. And I feel like the diversity really feeds the creative possibility. So I guess what I want to talk about, I mean, you working for Stan Bitters, that's got to be a tremendous, I mean, this guy's, he's learned so much. So like you work with a guy like Stan Bitters, like me working with a guy like Paul Soldner. I was mentored by other brilliant artists, but if you work with like somebody who's really asking the deep, deep questions and finding the resolve for those questions, or finding new directions for resolve with those questions, those are the guys who are going to teach you a lot. Like, it's like you can learn, like you could sit and study with somebody for 5 years. You're going to, in 1 year, you're going to learn like 10 years of them. It's like half the, it's like, it's so fruitful. So, that's really what I wanted to talk about, is like the parallels in that regard, and how I once again am just so proud and happy that this tattoo art world is still pursuing the apprenticeships. As a matter of fact, within like stoneworking, I was listening to Pedro Reyes' famous sculpture, one of my favorite sculptors, does these huge monumental stone carved sculptures, he is not going to AI because a lot of the stonework is now going to AI, and it's being extracted with water and lasers and all this kind of stuff. And it's extremely credible for a lot of things, but there's a lot going to be lost in this. I mean, in stoneworking, he was actually talking about that how he will never start working with AI because he wants to teach the medium. He wants to teach the task that what effort it does take. And then stone carving, ceramics, these are tremendous efforts. They're not for the faint at heart at all. But I guess with that, I kind of wanted to share, well, like I said, extend all the the kudos to the tattoo art world for continuing to pursue that apprenticeship, because as far as I know, that's the way a lot of people are still taught. And with regards to me, I am an open book. My mentor always told me, I share whatever you know with somebody, because inevitably they're going to take that and teach you something different with that. So we're all going to learn. So share it, be the open book, share the information. Don't keep it to yourself, share it. And then we're all going to learn. So, I guess that being said, we're going to watch a little, 8-minute, film that was, created for my mentor, Paul Solner, when he got inducted into the Aspen Hall of Fame. And they lightly bring to attention his focus on mentorships and apprenticeships.
Antonio, have you been to the studio since he's passed away and it's a gallery now? Or?
Yeah, multiple times. Yeah, since he passed away, I've been to Aspen, twice since he's passed away, actually.
And
Twice. Gosh, I think, I want to say 2011 or something like that. I forget, to be honest with you. It's been a number of years. I haven't been to Aspen, and it's been a number of years, but I spent 7 summers there. So I spent, almost half my year there, anywhere from 4 to 6 months, working with him there and working with him wherever else we'd end up teaching and do whatever kind of, public art opening that was happening with regards to his public works and such. Yeah, definitely influential, tremendous influence, and the idea of, mentorships, or being able to, just share knowledge and continue to share knowledge and in-depth information with being the open book. I find it, locally, I just try and share as much as I can, and I want to just extend and be that open book for whoever is interested in ceramics, or however I can direct in any medium that I work with. But I see the change within the ceramic community, especially with people learning a lot from YouTube, and going to various institutions to learn. And no doubt, however it's tangible, ceramics is a very expensive medium. You have to have expensive kilns, you have to have the plumbing, you have to have the electricity, you have to have, it's a tremendous, you have to have the space. If it's not like, for me to move my kilns, I have to hire a gigantic crane, and I have a number of kilns. And so it's not just, it's however you can obtain the knowledge. But I think opening the possibility in all mediums to try and enhance the professional development, because at the end of the day, the apprenticeship behoves the professional. Paul, when he established Anderson Ranch, he literally established it, and he told me, he said, I established it so I could teach everything. I would teach everybody what they didn't learn in graduate school, which was how to be a professional artist, And so that was his focus with Anderson Ranch, and inevitably it became an institution. It's a tremendous institution now. It's one of the most elite workshop facilities in the world. So it's not the direction Paul had intended, but inevitably things get commodified. And how can we, develop these kinds of communal creative pursuits, so it's not really about the direction. It's more about the question and the development, because what direction, how do we know where it's going to go? It's more the contemplation and the development. Contemplation in that we are asking those very in-depth questions and seeking those resolve, and development with regards to how do we develop that within our community, because Paul shares something with somebody and then it furthers to the development of everybody else as well as you.
Do I understand correctly that you're inviting apprentices?
If somebody, absolutely. If somebody is adhered to the task and at the end of the day can cut the mustard, just like I had to do when I was 18. By the time I was in the Santa Cruz pottery, that was only because I had started when I was 16 and I was just like, nose to the grinding stone, nonstop, completely addicted, committed to clay at age 16. So by the time I was 18, I had already developed the communication because my mom was part of administration at UC Santa Cruz. So out of a satellite office in Fresno, needless to say, we were in Santa Cruz a lot when I was young. And so she had already made contacts with the local potters because she was really good at that. Make contacts. Next thing you know, I'm in contact with a production pottery there that was established for 40 years, the Santa Cruz pottery, and very historic. And so then I was able to, right out of high school, have enough chops to get accepted to an apprenticeship. But it was grueling. A couple of years, I didn't get paid. You don't get paid. You have to be very disciplined, diligent, and all the effort that it takes. And, that's what, I think a lot of people are, it takes a lot of dedication, dedication. And oftentimes people with ceramics have an idea of that, and then when you come to actually start working with the medium, you're like, holy moly, there's there's an infinite amount of questions, and then it's like, okay, what are the levels of depths that you really want to pursue? And so with regards to like me, if I were to take on an apprentice, it would be somebody who's asking those in-depth questions, who wants that resolve. But if we're talking about superficial questions, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I'm an open book, and I could totally extend all the information I can, absolutely. And also my materials, or if, you need space in the kiln and I have extra space, it's like, absolutely. Any person who's working in the medium, I always extend that. And I'm like, hey, I don't want any money. If I'm firing the kiln at this time and I have space, you're welcome to just put your stuff in because there's extra space in there, and so absolutely I extend that. Absolutely, and anybody who just even wants to reach out on Instagram or, any kind of social media platform, email, whatever, though I don't look at emails very often. But, you guys extend, I will try and just give you as much information as I can in any medium that I'm familiar with.
How can they contact you?
Well, my Instagram platform, Evaristo Art, Facebook, it's under my name. My email, I better not give that out because the next thing I'm getting spam everywhere. But if you do want it, I can give it to you. However, maybe reach out to Ampelio if somebody's in question. He can point direction to me. Please just reach out. However, you can get a hold of me. Yeah. So I was gonna do next. Does anybody have any questions about anything?
Could have stayed in with him in his place. Why did you come back here?
Oh, I stayed with him for like anywhere from 4 to 6 months out of the year in that little artist loft that he was talking about up there. That's where I lived. Yeah, and I at the end of the day, I could be a lot of places, I really could. But to own your own kilns and to own your own space And to own, I mean, like imagine like the almost acre that I have in the middle of Aspen, untangible, for an artist like me. Santa Cruz, the same thing. So, really what happened was is I was living in Santa Cruz and I had a beautiful studio at this point before I had left. I was living in Santa Cruz. I had a beautiful detached studio right there at my house, which is feasible, because if you have a house and then your own private studio, you're talking about two separate overheads. And so it was really feasible with what I had. The long story short is the owner sold the house and I had to move. And I had been in that studio for a number of years, and I was like, holy moly, moving a studio is a real pain in the butt. So I said, and it's a tremendous expense because, I paid for all the plumbing of my gas kilns there. I paid for all the electricity and the sub panel boxes and all the stuff that it takes to, put together a ceramic studio. And I said, well, it's probably best I move to a place where it's tangible. And Farmersville showed me that light. I was able to, obtain a beautiful property that gives me enough space and I don't have to move my kilns from there. And so that's a big reason why, in the future, I am definitely going to be doing residencies and such. I have an 10-year-old, he'll be 11 at the end of the year, or end of the month. And so it's like I'm pretty adhered to here right now, especially because of my family. And I mean, I love my family. I absolutely love it here, to be honest with you. But the future of me traveling back to Aspen and doing all these places, absolutely, that's what I'm envisioning. Is residencies and different creative endeavors in that way. But my 10-year-old son, how much are we? We're looking at the mountains right now. And we're like 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. It's like, I mean, Aspen has some beautiful snow-capped mountains and tremendous minerals and beautiful sunsets and all that stuff. I'm sorry, these giant sequoias, they're 3,000 years old. These are tremendous feats of engineering. And, it's just tremendous feats of evolution, how they take everything about them. So I feel so fortunate to be born next to them, because they are sacred beings. Like we may not look at the earth as a sentient object, but it is the most evolved, sentient, conscious piece of matter that we can look into. We can sit here and talk about us and how and hold our egos as much as we want as humans, but at the end of the day, this beautiful earth that developed some of the oldest living things, they live right here next to us, and that is extremely special. And so for me, just like looking at, yeah, I love it here. So yes, there are options to go, and I could be gone tomorrow if I wanted to. Absolutely. But clearly I have my family and my son here, which that would never happen. But at the end of the day, there are options. Yeah. Yeah. Aspen's a beautiful place, but it's definitely, listen, I'm sure we all embrace the winters here in Visalia, but I am so excited that the days are incrementally getting longer, and I'm starting to see a little bit of grass and the buds on the trees happening. We live in a very special place. We absolutely do. I mean, the fact that we can grow all this beautiful organic produce and we can see these tremendous mountains, the biggest mountain range in the United States, it's a special place. No, I mean, you just gotta, I mean, I guess just look at the deeper questions, and the deeper question to me is like, it doesn't get any deeper than these tremendous, sequoias, giants. It really does not. What lives 3,000 years old? What lives? I mean, besides, fungal networks, we're talking about very few things. Oh, 13,000 some of the bristlecone pines are. Yeah, 13,000 plus. Yeah, on the eastern side of the Sierras. Yeah.
Want to get another question?
Any other questions? Oh my God, such a handsome animal. Oh my goodness. I want offspring from them. Look at how beautiful that gray is and so fluffy. Yeah.
students like, what was different from you, artists? Talk about round two.
Round two was well, for the people who had already worked with it, I felt like they were tremendously more courageous and proficient. For the ones who had just got into it, there was a lot of question and a lot of translation of medium, and so for example, Michaela Madison over here, yes, which was really cool about her question was she did hers in what is called underglazed pencil. Okay, where these were all decorated primarily. Well, also Misty did underglazed pencil, but and then Mike started doing it, but it was all because Michaela was like really asking that question. And then everybody, I was like, okay, well, this is the approach. And underglazed pencils are very hard. And I mean that literally and figuratively, but like they are a very hard pencil. Like you touch it and it wants to break. And so you have to be very gentle with it. And so it's a very tedious, cumbersome medium. And with like ceramics, with these it's you're layering matter. You have to layer enough matter to where it doesn't fire out. Because if you don't layer enough matter, it will become faint. So what you're seeing initially is not necessarily what you're going to get in the end of the firing because you may not have layered enough matter. And so it's very tedious to continually, pursue these layers, which she did wonderfully. Her like the foxes, she actually did like a kind of interplay between it, but you can see the softness of the fox and the tribal leader here. You can see is very soft, and that's because she approached that with the underglazed pencil. And what she was doing was it's like you go and do colored pencil drawing, but what she started doing, she said she was licking it to soften it up because it was so hard to work with. So she just lick it and kind of soften it up, lick it, soften it up, And so she did a lot of that to create, which is I absolutely love this fox. It's just so soft and dreamy, which is the way she approaches her tattoo artwork, as well as she does a lot of the blackout artwork where they just blacken the skin entirely, and the interplay between this and her translating that into the ceramic medium. So fun. But yeah, so then you had people approaching the method with the underglazed pencil, and then clearly the developed underglazed paintings. I mean, this is fantastic. These are all fantastic pieces, and then
What the temperature is and how long it takes to fire them.
okay, well, these are fired to what we call cone 06, which is just under 1900 degrees, which would be considered low temperature. But because for me, I was like, okay, well, if we're making platters, we talked about it with the guys. I said, hey, we can fire these things because this is a real porcelain. We could fire it to a hotter temperature, and they could be totally utilitarian. They would shrink considerably more because the higher temperature, and you would lose, this wouldn't likely be as vibrant of a color. They would really have to you really see the layers at the higher temperature because it's challenged more. But needless to say, we didn't decide on the functionality because they all recognized and said, hey, people are buying these as art. They don't want to use them, but my functional mind, the way I was trained, was like, hey, that could be cool. You absolutely could eat in that. You totally could, even right now. You could dishwash it, absolutely, but they didn't want that utilitarian kind of role to be interplayed with the wear. For me, I was kind of like entertaining the idea because I thought it was kind of cool. It'd be restaurant quality wear at high temperature, but also art. But we all settled on keeping it at 1900. So yeah, those are fired to just under 1900 degrees Fahrenheit.
This will scratch easier though than the higher part.
It will scratch easier, but at the end of the day, if you were to bury that thing and it weren't a crack or anything, and you were to dig it up in 1,000 years, it would pretty much look the same. You might be able to see the herniations in the surface of the glaze because you had the dirt, and that's what gives that antiquing look with a lot of ancient pottery. But no, absolutely, it's like ceramics is if it doesn't get broken, it will endure longer than bronze. Yeah, and especially that's why when we go to stonewares, like when we do go to stoneware where this is earthenware, Native American pottery, a lot of early Greek pottery, a lot of these Minoan wares and such, low temperature, which what we call earthenware, right? And then you have stoneware, which is literally because it's chemically changing this medium into stone because it's so challenged that it becomes a eutectic bond. You're creating, it's basically like a beautiful kind of high temperature, almost glass, a high alumina glass.
You have time for one more question.
One more question. We're good?
Good.
Awesome. Wonderful.
Trip too?
No,
You
pruning his fruit trees.
No, Mike's showing me how to trim my fruit trees, and then I helped him pour a slab over there at his house for his raccoon. When he finds the time, we're going to be eating a lot of fruit and firing together. Yeah, he's got his kiln. Yeah. It's a cool, amazing, beautiful place. Mike's place is awesome. Well, thank you guys all for coming out, and it's a joy to talk with you guys and share. And congratulations on your beautiful cover. Tremendous. And like I said, thank you guys for all the diversity that you guys provide. You guys really do a tremendous effort. And coming in here and seeing the Watermark new magazine and all the South Valley alt. I mean, give me a break. You guys wear so many hats. Cheers. Thank you.
Okay, we have time for announcements. I'm sure Tracy has something to say.
Go on up.
All right, if you guys don't know who I am, my name is Tracy Polconico. I'm the executive director over at Arts Visalia, the neighbors over here. Couple things. Come check out Mark's show. Mark Stone Carver Robinson right here. Go ahead, wave or stand up. You're tall. 50 years of his creativity along with his family's artwork showing where his inspiration came from. It is fascinating to see all in one place. It's up through January 31st. If you're an artist yourself, you're looking for a space to showcase your work, I'm currently open for my 2027-2028 exhibition proposals. Information for that can be found at artsvisalia.org under the Artist Opportunity tabs, or there's a paper right there in the back that explains exactly what you need to send me. It is free to show. It is free to apply. Stick your neck out there, showcase your work, be an artist in the community. And if you are interested in figure drawing, tomorrow night, 7 to 9 p.m. at Arts Visalia, figure drawing. All right, that's it. That's all I got. Oh, thank you. Saturday, we are actually celebrating Mark's 70th birthday. So at Arts Visalia, starting at 2:00, he's going to be doing a live demo and might include wood carving. For sure, it's going to include stone carving of many different things. I'm just going to give him the mic to talk about this.
So I was hoping to have little pieces of soapstone. And I ordered it in December, and it was supposed to be here yesterday, but somehow it got to Fayetteville, in 4 days from Virginia, but didn't get it across the country. So I'm going to have some stones there. I'll let people carve on them a little bit. I'll carve a little bit, and we'll talk about hardness of stones, different stones, and good stuff like that. And probably going to make some jambalaya too. So we'll have that to eat. That's not my part, hopefully. So come on down, come and see the show. I'm very proud of it. Tracy worked really hard on it. So I have my sculptures there, and I have drawings going back 51 years and painting.
And Saturday, what time?
2 to 4.
Okay, good.
But the studio, the gallery's open.
Yeah, unified.
Unified. Yep.
Probably there's beautiful.
Yeah, well, I'll probably be there as one.
Well, no.
Because I usually don't talk about the Brandon Mitchell Gallery because we have sort of traditional art there. But this show there is now, Maria even, I mean, I've had people going, oh my gosh, it's huge, it's colorful, it's all done on an iPhone. And so come to the next First Friday. It'll be up again still for next First Friday. I mean, it's pretty dramatic, and a lot of people have said really good things about it. So come and see it. We'd love to have you.
Okay, anybody else want to make an announcement? Oh,
It's going to be a busy weekend at Arts Visalia. So along with the events that are happening on Saturday, I'm excited to share that the Loudmouth will be back at the gallery this coming Sunday as well for our usual third Sunday events. But this event that we are hosting is coming up is actually one of the biggest shows that we put together every year. Instead of it being an open competition, we are inviting back our season's top 12 poets to not compete for a cash prize, but to compete for the opportunity to be on our Central Valley Representative Slam team. This is a team of 5 poets who are going to be traveling nationwide this year to compete at various national level competitions, including Albuquerque, New Mexico, Portland, Oregon, San Francisco, and LA. So we have a really full docket for our poets coming up this year. And we really want to extend the invite to our community to come and support those poets and see who gets to be our representatives for the Central Valley. We are the only team that is coming out of the Central Valley to these national level competitions. We're competing against some of the major cities, Chicago, Los Angeles. We're competing against Dallas, and we're competing against the current national champions from Las Vegas, as well as down from Houston. So a lot of big this brings out a lot, these events bring out a lot of poets from a lot of different communities, but we are pretty much representing this whole pocket of California that often gets underrepresented in the bigger conversations of the art community. So I have flyers here available, so feel free to grab one from me. And also, this event will be free to attend. We typically do charge a $10 entry fee for our monthly shows. This show will be free to attend, to watch the poets. We are going to kick off with a poetry market at 2 o'clock with our poets vendoring their books, vendoring their crafts. I will also be setting up my typewriters to write out poems for people as well. And in addition, we also have Coerte coming out to serve as our official food vendor. So that's what I have for you all, and hope to see you.
What
Yes.
about next First Friday?
What's that?
What about next First Friday?
Next First Friday, yeah. Next First Friday is going to be the opening of my exhibit here, where we are going to be combining spoken word and poetry into the visual art realm. So my official opening reception won't be until March, but in February, we are kicking off the opening of The Loudest Voice in the Smallest Room with the Poetry Out Loud Youth recitation contest. So there will be a bunch of youth poets from all across Tulare County who are also competing for a opportunity to represent our area and our community at national and state level competitions for reciting poetry. I'm excited that I get to be one of the judges for this year's competition and to have all these really talented youth poets performing with my poetry in the backdrop. So Sunday, we'll be starting at 2 o'clock, and then the poetry slam will start at 4 and go until about 7.
okay. You got any other announcements? Nobody? Okay. All right. Anyway, don't forget there's these flyers back there for the $50,000 sculpture competition if you're interested. We do have a few, speaking of art in Tulare County, we do have a few of these little flyers that are maps of all the art, public art in Tulare County that you can, any time of the day or night, you can see. So there's some on the back, and I think it's on our website too, isn't it, Ampelio? So you can go on the website and download it in your phone, and so you can have it there. So anyway, I appreciate everybody coming. It's a great group, and hope to see you next time. Thanks. Well, thank you.